One day, I was bedrotting, scrolling mindlessly through YouTube Shorts, when I got an ad. It was for an Asian drama streaming service. Now, I'm not one to get streaming services, I'd prefer to just pirate Yarhar, and I've never really been into dramas. I barely ever watch anything live action because I love animation so much. But this ad piqued my interest, which is a surprise. Do you guys ever get something from an ad? Like, I always just block them out. The ad knew that I was gay as hell because it showed me a preview for a BLK drama called Jazz for Two. I decided to check into the service, and after watching the first episode for free, I bought my first month of it. So, welcome back to my channel. I just watched a shit ton of Asian BLs. Now, like I said, I've never really been into live action stuff, but this is far from my first encounter with boys love as a whole, like as a genre. Usually it's like webtoons and stuff like that. I'll show a few favorites on the screen, but to my knowledge, and if we don't count Promare, my first boys love anime was Cherry Magic in spring of this year. Oh, fuck. Actually, I kind of forgot about Yuri on Ice. And Given. Well, everyone watched Yuri on Ice and Given, and I barely remember it, so whatever. My friend was posting about it on Instagram, Cherry Magic that is. Shout out Kayla. And when the first episode aired, I asked them what it was because they were posting it all over their story. They told me it was called Cherry Magic and that it updated every Wednesday. So that started Yaoi Wednesdays for me. After Cherry Magic ended, I was hungry for more, so I immediately, rapidly, ate up Dokyusei, which is Classmates, I think, Sasaki to Miyano, and this weird Chinese one called Beryl and Sapphire. It's like these two guys and they're put into different universes each episode. I don't know, there's like 4 seasons of it. Anyway, this is all to say that I'm not new to the world of BL. Obviously, that's a given. However, I am new to drama BLs. How the fuck am I supposed to watch these if they don't have wacky hair and constant blushing? Insane. Well, I did think about watching the 2 Cherry Magic dramas. One's Thai and the other's Japanese. I heard that the Japanese one is better, apparently. I don't really know. I never actually ended up watching them. Maybe I will later, for my next Yaoi Summer, I suppose. So that was kind of my first encounter, just seeing gift sets of the shows on Tumblr. It piqued my interest a bit, but not enough for me to look around and watch it. However, when the ad I mentioned came up, I decided I would finally get back into watching some gay people, as I'd taken a break for a couple of months. So, Jazz for Two.
I remember closing my head, closing my mind. Let me name the things when we walk on the cloud.
The ad for the streaming service showed me a preview of this cute high school K-drama. It's about 4 boys, but the main 2 are Yoon Se-yeon and Han Tae-yi. Se-yeon is some rich kid with a strict father who homeschooled him because he wanted Se-yeon to focus as much time and energy onto learning classical songs on piano. His father is a music professor, and his brother Se-jin is his golden child. However, because, honestly, I don't know, his father lets him go back to school so long as he continues to focus on his classical piano practice. The problem is, Se-yeon is sick of classical and just wants to play jazz, but of course his father won't let him. Han Tae-yi, on the other hand, lives alone and is kind of the bad boy of his class. But that's just because his brother died and he lost a lot of joy in his life after that. There's a twist, by the way, about his brother's death, which honestly was kind of tropey and a little stupid. But here's a warning that it was suicide. Well, as it turns out, Taejun, his brother, also liked playing piano. The 2 of them shared a love for jazz as well, Tae-yi playing the trumpet. After his passing, Tae-yi would develop a sore spot for jazz. When he hears Se-yeon playing a song in an unused old piano room at school, he gets angry and tells him to never play there again because that's where his brother used to play. Apparently, he also thinks the 2 of them look similar, which I think is mostly just in the hair and like how they act, so it hurts even more for him. But like, okay, dude, I get that your brother died and you're angrily grieving and all that, but damn, you don't have to, like, take it out on others. Anyway, they become the main couple, of course. The side couple, because there's always a side couple, is between Seo Do-yoon and Song Joo-ha. They're a bit problematic, especially Joo-ha because he's the classic bully character. The relationship kind of fell flat for me, especially because Joo-ha's just kind of an asshole, and I don't think it really gets resolved properly. It just was not handled very, very good, in my opinion. Also, Joo-ha's sister, Joo-hee, likes Tae-yi, but he doesn't want anything to do with her because her brother's an asshole, which... Anyway, I watched this one in June, and I haven't rewatched it in full, but I do remember it being pretty cute. Especially when they get together, they have this adorable little scene that I just think about a lot for no reason. It's just so cute. Okay, so I did quickly rewatch over it. I don't like rewatching or rereading things because of the low points that I just don't want to re-experience. So I did rewatch the show, but just skipping over some parts that I didn't like, which was usually just the parts with Seon and his dad, because I don't like his dad, which is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to like his dad completely. And I have a couple of notes. So, first of all, what you'll realize when at least watching it on the streaming service, I don't know if it's different on other platforms, the subtitles are translated a little awkwardly. All the other shows I watched were translated fine. This was just weird. I don't know what was up with the translating, but things just weren't grammatically correct, or they just seemed awkward, and you can still tell what's happening. I mean, in some parts it's a little bit awkward. It's so worded so weirdly that you just have no idea what the fuck they're saying, but it's fine. So just that the subtitles is weird. Also, it's an adaptation, I forgot to mention this, and I don't know much about the production budget for this show, but from what I can see, people were saying that it had a very rushed ending. They couldn't do as many episodes as they wanted to, so there's 8 episodes. Each one is 30 minutes long, 30 to 40 minutes long, and everything is really good up until that 8th episode. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. I rewatched everything up until the last episode. I was okay, yeah, I remember from my first watch through that this was the episode that I was just I don't want to rewatch it. It just didn't intrigue me enough to rewatch it. I just didn't want to go through it again. It was just kind of stupid. So about Joo-ha and Do-yoon, yeah, they really do never get properly resolved, which their story might be better in the original comic, but Joo-ha he gets forgiven really easily by Do-yoon and Sehun, which is really crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Sehun really forgives Joo-ha and Tae for their uncomfortable harassment moments. Kind of weird. It could be part of the pacing thing where it's just they didn't have much time. I haven't read the original comic, but I hope it's done better in that, but I don't think I'm ever gonna read it. So for what the show is, they don't handle forgiveness in those moments very well, in my opinion. So yeah, Do-yoon and Joo-ha kind of make no sense. If you like toxic yaoi, if you like the bully character trope, because that's what Joo-ha is, I guess it's fine, but personally for me, toxic yaoi only works if you're aware, if you know that the series you're getting into is gonna have toxic yaoi, if you know that it's gonna be all fucked up. It doesn't really work when it just kind of comes out of nowhere. You can have a bully character, but making him get together with one of the main characters without proper resolution kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. So, speaking of Joo-ha, his sister, Joo-hee, deserved so much better. She is literally the only girl in the show besides their teacher. So she gets dropped in like the last episode because her plot line was liking Taehee, and after Seon and Taehee get together, she doesn't matter anymore, basically. Like, she doesn't really get any more screen time after that, which really sucks. I love women in BLs. They're handled so nicely. So aside from those things though, overall, it was pretty cute. Does have some problems, but it's not like the worst show ever. I think about it so much, like my brain is just covered. Like, I think about the cute moments a lot. It's taking over my entire brain, just like thinking about them. They'll come up on my YouTube shorts. It's crazy. So yeah, it's a cute show. Had some bad moments, but overall it's pretty nice. It was a great start to my overwhelming brain rot that I cast upon myself with all these BLs I was watching. I watched all 8 episodes in one night when I first watched it, and it took like 4 hours. I had band practice the next day and was just completely out of it. It fucked up my entire sleep schedule for the rest of summer. So, oopsie! But at least the show was good. I will give it 2 jazz players out of 4. I did not care about Juha and Do-yoon, although I kind of have an eensy crush on Juha just because the actor's cute, but that has nothing to do with his character. His character was bad. Okay, wait. Speaking of actors, by the way, I have to also mention, I am not into K-pop at all. This is the first time I've really gotten more into like Asian actors and like idol stuff in general. Never been into K-pop. I know like 2 songs now, besides like Gangnam Style. So I don't recognize any of them. But apparently, Seon is played by one of the guys in the band, and Do-yoon is from another like band. But of course I don't recognize them. But if you recognize them, then you know, cool. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna say right now that I don't recognize any of these people beforehand. I don't listen to K-pop. So, on that topic, there was this weird moment where these 2 guys randomly showed up in episode 1 and got a cool, like, intro sequence, but we literally never see them ever again.
저기 실례합니다.
네?
그 혹시 우연예고가 어딘지 아세요?
저도 잘 모르겠네요.
이들 뭐해?
They don't even go to the same school. Seon is asking them for directions to school, and they don't know where it is. I'm guessing they were just guest appearances. From what I can tell, they were a cameo because they were in another popular K-drama. So that's why they get like this cute little moment. But I didn't recognize them. I had not watched their show, so it was just really weird seeing like their sparkly entrances. We never get their names. They talk for 2 seconds each. They have one scene and then they're dead and gone. So it just confused me more than anything. But like, if you had watched the series that they were from initially, then you would have recognized them. Love Sea is a show by Me Mind Y, and from what I can tell, they're making and planning a lot of shows based off of one lady's books. Good for her. Her novels are all apparently tied together, so we're starting to dip our toesies into the Mame cinematic universe. Love Sea will not be the last you'll hear about this. So, what is it actually about? Well, Tongrak, this famous author, who canonically is the writer for Mame's works in universe, which is kinda meta, has to go to southern Thailand because his rich friend Connor bought him tickets to fly and boat down there. Connor also arranged for Tongrak's tour guide, a friend of Connor's own little boy toy. By the way, Connor and his boyfriend also have a book of their own called Love Sand, I think. But so far we haven't been able to actually see Connor, so going in cold for the series without knowing there's a whole universe of novels to read about it can leave one quite confused. Tongrak's island guide is this young guy named Mahasamut, who... Holy God. Holy Christ. Jesus, dear Lord. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. These two become the main couple through a series of frustrating interactions as Tongrak is icy and closed off and hates how attractive this low-class, sexy man is. Yeah, there's some classism going on for sure, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
ฉันจะซื้อนายอะต้องจ่ายเท่าไหร่กำแพงนะครับฉันจ่ายไว้
Yeah, Tongrak buys Mahasamut, and they go back to Bangkok. Yeah, he just straight up just like buys him because Mahasamut tells him that he is poor and works for a lot of money. Don't think about it too hard. These two are sometimes incredibly infuriating to watch because Tongrak's a huge, pouty asshole all the time. They do the thing where Moot consistently pursues Rock, but Rock is always pushing him away. But then the next moment they're tonguing each other's throats. Maybe it's because I'm autistic and have a combination of social anxiety, high empathy, and I find it hard to read people if they don't directly tell me how they feel. But I truly do not understand these BL relationships sometimes. I mean, good for you, Moot. I'm sure the sex is fire and all, but I would have said, man, fuck this after Rack pushed me away for the 7th time. You know what? Throw my aromanticism on the table too, cause that's also probably a part of it. Now, I'm not saying that people who have their guards up and have personality disorders that sometimes make it hard for them to keep friends don't deserve a relationship if they want one. I'm just saying I don't personally get Moot's, reasons for staying with Rock. It confuses me why Moot stays with this rich asshole he just met, but I guess the dick is just that good. Good enough to literally leave his home at the drop of a hat? Yeah, after a few episodes, Tongrak has to go back to Bangkok, and they have this tearful moment about, well, you're gonna come back with me, White? Please! And Moot does! They even talk about how he wasn't prepared enough to pack all his clothes. And Moot doesn't even have any regard for the people left on the island. He's shown to be the boy everyone can count on to help around on the island, and he's vaguely involved with wanting to clean up the plastic in the sea, but after a couple of weeks of knowing this twink, he decides to up and leave everything. I just don't get it. It's he doesn't have a character outside of his relationship with Tongrak, and it really kind of sucks. He has this vague, interest in, cleaning up the sea, and he makes these bracelets for sea turtles, for saving sea turtles and whatever, but he doesn't really have anything that he does outside of being a house husband for Tongrak when he gets to Bangkok. I mean, Tongrak has a few things going on. He has a storyline with his family, and we get to see him actually working on his novels and talking to his publisher, but Moot just gets nothing. But okay, reeling it in. The show is fine. They have incredible intimate moments, and despite my frustration, I do like watching their relationship develop. You can tell how much I like the show by how much I'm critiquing it. I think that's a good indicator that I like it, that I can just see and understand its fatal flaws. There's some questionable and flat writing choices for sure, but it's still interesting. Fuck man, each episode is almost an hour long, and I'm pretty enthralled for most of it. Oh, yeah, also there's this shitty GL subplot. I'm sorry, I wanted to like it so bad, but V is just a shitty character. Well, in regards to Mook, she's a good friend for Rock, and she works well with Moot, but her whole thing with Mook is that she teases her endlessly, which gets in the way of Mook's work. See, Mook is Rock's secretary, and while he was away, V tricked her into doing odd jobs for her so she could be around her more. And that would be cute, you know, finding a way to get your crush to hang out with you, if it was just executed better. Mook clearly hates it, and she doesn't have the spine to say no to her employer's best friend, because for whatever reason, Mook likes her back, and it just breaks Mook's heart, because she thinks that V is just messing with her. They also do this fake dating thing, and it just messes with Mook's head a lot, and I don't like how V treats her in that regard. It's... ugh. Like I said, I want to like them so bad. It's great to have lesbians in a BL, but they frustrate me more than Mudrak do. I did squeal a bit when the girls finally kissed, but their whole story still kinda sucks. Anyway, like I said, the series is ongoing. Right now I've only watched 8 episodes, and currently things are ramping up with the Tongrak family plotline. By the way, his niece is so adorable. I love how I love Mina. She's so cute with Moot. The actress who plays her is also just needlessly cool for a 10-year-old. Overall, I give this show 3 gay people out of 5. The girls' relationship could have been written so much better.
ตัดเก่งเลยนะถ้าเธอเป็นหมาไง
Bark, bark, bitch.
Real quick before we move on to the next show, I have to get something out of the way. On iKiwi, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it, between episodes for Lovesea, we get these behind-the-sea segments, and sometimes reaction videos by the actors. Now, that's pretty cool. Seeing the actors react to the episode you just watched and short behind-the-scenes videos that shows the cast and crew's personalities is really charming. But watch out, or else you'll get bitten by the
parasociality monster.
Which, check out this cool scar. That's what I got. Now, if you couldn't tell, I'm in love with Moot's actor, Fortipung. Sorry if that's wrong pronunciation, I didn't look it up beforehand, that's not bad. In these exclusive BTS videos, no, not that one, Fort is slung all over Pete, Rock's actor, and he acts all cutesy. They're pretty much just their characters in the show, a golden retriever, black cat situation, but this is real. Right? Well, I'm not too sure myself. Like I said, I just got into all of this in the last 2 months, so I'm pretty new to how this world works. But I'm 99% sure that this is definitely fan service they're acting out. Listen, I've heard things about the K-pop industry and how these idols practically can't do anything in their personal lives because their contracts want them to appeal to the audience as much as possible. I mean, that's my basic level understanding of it, at least. So I'm guessing that's what's going on with these BL actors in Thailand too, but in a different way though. They want the actors to be kissing and cuddling and acting all cutesy to appease the audience's fantasies of them. Which, Jesus Christ, that'll have to be a video all on its own, because that's more serious and psychological than I need to get in this video. But just so you know, the fan service is there. And I am not immune to it. Listen, I know what they're doing. They're capitalizing off the hope that your favorite BL actors are really dating in real life for real, which, unpacking that, sure, it's a nice thought. Some BL actors did end up having romantic relationships, and that's really sweet, good for them. But we, as fans, should not care that much. Everyone, calm down. They're actors, they're doing their jobs. But it is pretty cute to watch, I'm not gonna lie. They're doing this for entertainment, so I should have no shame in being entertained by it. Just respect the actors, okay? For whatever that's worth. Fucking Christ, it's Farard all over again. Listen, I won't lie, I have read some pretty good MCR RPF in my day. It's silly and definitely is a little weird, but... yeah, no, it's just silly and weird. I'm aware. But it's fun. I mean, have you read Unholy Verse? That shit's wild. And they had it coming too, with Pro Rev and all. And don't think I forgot about you, Pete and Mikey. Anyway, fan service tangent aside, this is all just build up for my next show. You see, as I was looking through Fort Pete gift sets on Tumblr, I noticed there were some scenes I'd never seen before. Apparently they were in another BL from 2022 called Love in the Air. So as I waited for Lovesea to update every week, I binged the 13 very long episodes of Love in the Air. Okay, you two, now it's your turn.
Love, love in the air. Oh, love, love in the air.
Love in the Air is also part of the Mame-verse. That's why Fort and Pete got cast together for another one, which means that their two separate couples that they play can't ever meet in universe. Like I said, this is all one big Thailand verse in her novels. In both shows, they mention this guy named Frost, and I have no idea who the hell he is. Anyway, enough about Fort Pete, because this ain't about them yet. This story, at least the first 8 episodes, are dedicated primarily to these two, Payu and Rain. Rain is, at the beginning, a freshman architecture student at a university. And yes, this has no effect on his character whatsoever. You could change architecture to literally any other major and it would still work the same. But whatever. Payu graduated from his same school, also in architecture, and he still hangs out with the group of architecture majors. The translation calls it a frat, but to my understanding, I think every major in university has like a club where all the students hang out and get to know each other. So it's not quite like a frat where it's a mixture of majors, it's just a club for all the architecture students. That's my understanding at least. I don't know much about Thailand's schooling system. This is all to say that this is where Payu and Rain meet. Actually, they had a meet cute in the rain when, well, Rain's tire went flat and Payu came to change it for him. Rain didn't know who he was at that point, but after hearing his classmates praise this douchebag named Payu, he was not excited to meet him when the club went drinking together. But then he found out that that Payu douchebag was the hot guy he met in the rain, and he started feeling conflicted about it. Anyway, rom-com drama hijinks ensue, which unfortunately includes some moments of sexual assault. Hooray! Sure, Rain may be a little into it sometimes, but he's clearly not ready and is uncomfortable. Bitch, back off. Anyway, we actually find out from the opening scene that Payu's into illegal street racing. He enjoys riding, but he's actually just a mechanic. He and his brother are. Also, look at his brother. Why does he look like that? Why does he look like that incel filter? That's all I could see whenever he was on screen. I'm sorry. Oh, and who's that? God damn. I hope I get to see more of him in this show. Pete's character, thankfully, is more important, as Sky is friends with Rain. Pete plays similar characters, but fuck does he do it well. Tongrak is like if Sky was just a rich author. But I'll table Fort Pete for now. Boss Chaikamon and Nur Natsurat play an incredible couple here. Once we get past the couple uncomfortable scenes, they play really well off of each other. They're a lot less frustrating to watch than Tongrak and Mahasamut. Also, god damn, these guys are good at intimate moments. I haven't watched many shows yet, but these two pairs are the best I've seen chemistry-wise. They're incredibly comfortable with each other, and you can tell the actors really care. Fort Pete and Boss Noel. Their cuddly moments are adorable, and holy god, their hot moments quite literally go hard. But here's a little issue with Love in the Air. It is so damn long. There's a lot of plot happening, but it's also just kind of nothing burger at the same time. Clearly, because I don't remember most of the major story beats. It's just architecture school, mechanic shop, Payu's house, illegal street racing, and then a kidnapping plot from completely out of nowhere after Rain and Payu start getting more domestic.
What the fuck?
So, if you're looking for a nice, bite-sized show to binge all in one night, do not go here. However, there are 2 plots. Rain and Payu have the first half of the series, but their besties, Sky and Prapai, get the second half, starting episode 8. After the kidnapping plot, Payu and Rain become more domestic and boring, so there's no more interesting plot things going on. So now we have to go back in time to the first time Rain and Sky snuck into the racing event, and we find out why Prapai is so hung up on Rain's friend he never got the name of. You see, because we only focused on Rain and Payu on that night, we never figured out how Sky made it out of the dangerous street racing event. Turns out both Payu and Prapai had the same "he came with me" idea. Prapai starts flirting with Sky and tells him he'll need to pay him back for saving his ass, so they have a one-night stand. To Sky, it was nothing but that, but he seems to have charmed this playboy because Prapai can't get this cute guy off his mind. He finally gets in touch with Sky after talking to Rain, and Sky is not happy to hear from him. Like I said with Pete, they seem to play similar characters here. Forts is persistent and pushy, and Pete's is having none of it, but secretly is. Both Tongrek and Sky are like that. Except, and I almost called it Lord of the Flies, Lyra. Love in the air. That dynamic is cranked up to 11. Propai is extremely pushy and takes Sky out when he really just wants to be left alone, and he's incredibly uninterested for most of it, and just finds Propai annoying. Payu and Rain were a lot more fun and weren't as super serious, but Sky has hella baggage. His ex-boyfriend and his friends sorely removed the young, naive Sky, so after that he kept his guard and walls up. He had the one-night stand with Propai because it was necessary, and he didn't catch feelings because sex had become so far removed from love and, like, true feelings in his mind. It's a lot more emotional and dramatic than Payu Rain's silly romp, so prepare for that. They ended up really sweet, but honestly, they kind of stumbled into the finish line in my opinion. I'm just glad that Sky has a healthy partner, even if his initial pursuing was a little too persistent for my taste. So, Love in the Air Part 1. Payu Rain. I give them a solid 1 ransom photo out of 2. If I rewatched it, I'd probably skip around a lot, cause I don't care. For Part 2, Propai Sky get 4 fake numbers out of 5. They were a little rough, but in the end, they were alright. And it didn't feel like it had as much filler as Part 1 did. It felt like things were really happening. Love in the Sky was a long fever dream, but if you have the time, go ahead and check it out. God, no, this is so pretty. Okay, now we're gonna do a quick rapid fire section. There's 3 shows that didn't really stick with me as much because I ate them up so quickly one after another. Alright, are you ready?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Blooming follows Cha Siwon, a university film student who grew up, quote, ugly, and does everything he can to stay attractive and popular now. His love interest is Hyung Da-eun, goddammit, who's the classic born beautiful and popular type. Siwon immediately dislikes him because of his effortless image. Blooming's just a fun romp with some family issues sprinkled in for drama. I thought they were gonna do something with Siwon's sister and his friend Yoon Jong, but sadly, no explicit GLs here besides maybe a crush. Unfortunate. This one's relatively quick. You could probably finish the show in like 2 hours. It was pretty good and very fluffy and sweet. But there is a lot of talk about Korea's beauty standards, which is always so fun. Also, Yeon Jong is a really solid female character, which is rare in BLs, to say the least. I give Blooming 5 rotted teeth out of 5. It's just your casual, fluffy, tropey BL, and it does it really well. Why Are You is a rivals to lover story about Jung Yi-won and Kim Ji-oh, who start falling for each other because Yi-won's sister, Yi-jin, is writing a fanfic about them, and it starts coming true, like that one Gumball episode. This one's just a fun, silly story between, again, 2 film majors, plus a side pairing who Yi-jin is also adding into her RPF. Obviously, in real life, a sister writing gay fanfiction about her brother would be weird, but this show's just supposed to be silly. God bless her little Fujo heart. It'll take about 4 hours to complete, so if you want to burn away an entire afternoon to binge it, go right ahead. I give this drama 2 MCR fanfics out of 3 because sometimes the main couple's chemistry was just a little weird in my opinion. I can't really explain it. And the side couple were also a little off, but those are relatively small problems. Blossom Campus is the last I'll talk about in this rapid fire section because it's just really weird, and it's also unfinished. It's like a love triangle, but you know from the beginning that 2 of them are in-game, and the other guy is just there for cheap angst. When the main 2 get together, they never really resolve the other guy's feelings. Then the last episode ends on one hell of a cliffhanger, then the rest of the episode is a Q&A with the 2 leads. The lead actors mention that they hope there will be a season 2, but I guess we'll just be left hoping until there's confirmation. But I don't really know if I'll end up watching season 2 because it was just a really odd show altogether. So Blossom Campus gets 6 episodes out of 12 for me because it felt very unfinished. Because it is. I Hear the Sunspot is one of my favorites I've watched so far. As of scripting, there's only 9 episodes and it's still updating. Unlike Love Sea, which finished its last 2 episodes while I was working on this video. Christ. Sunspot was a manga first, and after talking to Kayla about it, apparently there was a movie version of it that came out in like 2017 or something. I'm thinking about doing a video about the series all on its own, so I'll read the manga and watch the movie for that. But for now, the drama. This drama is about 2 college students, Kohei and Taichi. Kohei is hard of hearing, and Taichi rolled into him one day. Kohei shares his food with Taichi, and it's the best thing he's ever tasted. You see, Taichi lives with his grandpa, and it seems to me either they're poor or neither one knows how to cook good food, or both. But Kohei's mom is a great cook, and he learns it from her. After Taichi finds out about Kohei's hearing disability and that the college has a note-taking program, they start a little trade-off. Taichi takes notes for Kohei during his lessons, and Kohei brings an extra bento for Taichi every day. They become good buddies after that. I'm a little confused about how Taichi's own lessons go because we never see him in a classroom unless it's in Kohei's law classes, and I can't even remember what Taichi's major is. But I can tell you for sure it's not law. It might be film, I'm not completely sure. Don't their schedules ever conflict? Doesn't Taichi have to go to twice as many classes now and work 2 jobs at the same time? He does Uber Eats and picks up a job at a cafe, by the way. How is he not exhausted? Whatever, I'm just not gonna think about that. Their first year together passes, and after a fun little camping trip with Taichi's friends, their second year of college comes, and with it, Maya-chan. She's this BL's girl character, and so far she's only had 3 or 4 episodes, so I haven't seen her fully fleshed out yet. But basically, she also has a hearing disability, and Kohei's her mentor, and she doesn't think Taichi is a good friend to him. She thinks he doesn't take the note-taking seriously just because his handwriting isn't super legible, and early on he would doodle on the pages. She thinks he's just using Kohei for his food. By this point, we know that their bond is strong, and that Taichi does take Kohei's disability seriously. Kohei told him how he's the only person patient enough to repeat things to him that are being said around them, and doesn't go, never mind, after the first, second, or third time Kohei has to say, huh? Maya eventually comes around, but she still has an antagonistic sibling relationship with Taichi. She's not a perfect girl character, but I hope as the story progresses, I can call her a good female character in a BL. I'll let you know if that changes when and if I do a video on Sunspot on its own. So, I Hear the Sunspot gets 1 funny grandpa out of 1. Definitely recommend. Also, I feel like it would have great rewatch value.
目にいっぺい涙ためてよ、この世の終わりみたいな顔で言うんだよ。これおい、浩平、何笑ってんだよ。Another one.
So, when I started this video, like 3 weeks ago, I continued watching BL. I watched updated episodes, sniffed around, and tried some new series by watching the first episodes, and eventually I found one that had me hooked all the way through. My Only 12% is another Thai drama, another long one too at that. 13 40-minute episodes, with the behind-the-scenes segment in between. This time though, I mostly skipped them because my dumbass thought I would watch the whole thing in one night. Jesus Christ. Anyway, first and foremost, this one is incredibly cute. 2 boys in the 2000s who grew up together because their families are neighbors and friends. Cake is the outgoing, extroverted one, and I want to say ew, but it's like, it's E-I-W, so it's like, give me a minute. Ew? I think it's ew. Ew is the introvert who doesn't need anyone as long as he has Cake. Except, for some reason, he ignores him at school, so he gets 2 filler friends to hang out with. I think it's because he doesn't like how rowdy Cake's school friends are, so he doesn't like hanging out with him a whole lot. He does eventually make friends with a boy named Sand, because after Cake got a girlfriend, he started having to wait a while after school to walk home with him. Sand was a great friend at first, and in that time, Cake got to feel a little jealousy of his own. Though eventually we find out that Sand wasn't great, and some conflict arises because of it. The conclusion to it is that Cake and Yu need to get over the jealousy they harbor for each other, and Yu needs to learn how to make better friends and not be so naive, and just make more friends in general, because now Cake has to leave to America for a couple years. Yu needs to learn how to live without him. There's a lot that goes on in this drama, and dear lord, is it a drama. This one actually made me cry. If you know me, you'll know that I don't easily cry at media. There's few things that have made me tear up, but that doesn't mean I can't recognize when something is sad. My only 12%, however, is one of the few things that did succeed in making me cry. I don't want to spoil it more than I already have, and to be honest, I kind of want to give it its own video, spoilers and all, because it's one of the best dramas I've seen so far. Probably the best. I guess Childhood Friends to Lovers just really gets me. They're incredibly sweet, and it's the perfect amount of angst that doesn't just feel like self-harm to watch. However, there is a small side plot between Yu's sister and one of Cake's friends. Tonham is in college, and at this point the boys are all in their freshman year of high school. They do a little thing where they mirror Yu's and Cake's forbidden gay relationship with Hum and Peak's forbidden age gap relationship. It's really gross. Hum knows, beginning to end, that he's too young for her, but the kid is persistent and goes to her house and college pretty often to see her. It's really weird. But she starts to like him, I guess because it's kind of charming, but ultimately rejects him, which makes them both upset. She did the right thing to reject him at that time, even if she did accidentally catch feelings as well. Then there's a time skip to the second half of the series. It skips over when Cake was in America and Yu had to learn to make new friends and live without him for a while. When they get back together, they finally realize they have feelings for each other, or rather, Cake finally realizes, now that other people are flirting with his best friend and he finds he doesn't really enjoy it that much. Hum and Peak's relationship is kind of forgotten about until they throw us a curveball in the second to last episode when they bring it up again. The kid is in college now, and he asks if he's old enough for her yet. And in the end, yes, of course they get together. Not only that, but Pao, Yu's older brother, gets with Cream, Cake's younger sister. Why? Why? For what purpose? Sure, they're all adults now. I think Cream is an adult at the point that she starts dating Pao, but he's older than Hom, and Cream is younger than both Cake and Yu. It's just, it just still feels weird, does it not? Ay. Well, aside from those relatively small things, this show is incredible. Definitely might do a video on it in the future. So kids, what did we learn today? Well, after 50 plus handwritten pages of script and 4 weeks of working on this damn video, I can say for certain that I really enjoy making YouTube videos. Can't wait to make more videos that no one will watch in the future. At least I'll be proud of them, and that's all that matters. Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Anyway, in regards to the topic at hand, BL is addicting. There's so many shows and actors to get into, and it's an endless hyperfixation feeder. If my brain rot continues, hey, I might do an autumn If my brain rot continues, hey, I might do an autumn yaoi video as well. But for now, I'll leave you with my personal ranking of all of them that I talked about in this video. Number 7, Blossom Campus. Number 6, Why Are You? Number 5, Blooming. Number 4, Love in the Air. Number 3, Love Sea. Number 2, I Hear the Sunspot. And tied for number 1, My Only 12% and Jazz for 2. These two are tied because, quite honestly, I'm just quickly taking them off in a ranking and I'm not putting a whole lot of thought into it right now. And I also didn't rewatch them all in full to better clarify my ranking because I don't want to take another week or two on this video. Not doing it. Anyway, that's my ranking, but I'd highly recommend Blooming, Jazz for Two, and I Hear the Sunspot if you're just getting into BL. Blooming and Jazz especially if you just want a quick 4-hour binge. My Only 12% and Love Sea are good if you're looking for a longer series, and Love in the Air if you want to spend a whole week on it. Why Are You is a fun, silly one, and Blossom Campus is, well, we'll just have to see if they ever get a second season. But for now, don't bother with it, I think. Alright, well, that's all I have to say now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll like the recommendations I give you. If you've seen these shows already, comment your thoughts on them. If you want, I'd love to read them. Like and subscribe and whatever. And I am so done with scripting this video. See ya. If you like my art, please consider commissioning me, but if you want to use your money differently, please then donate to Hind. Links in the description. Thank you so much for watching.
So keep watching Jeopardy 24 hours a day and call this number. You dumb son of a bitch, you don't watch it 24 hours a day.
I finally finished watching Love Sea. All of its sins are forgiven. The ending was really fucking good. Yippee!